everybody, welcome to GameGorgon. My name is Krug.
And I'm Jake.
And today we're here to talk to you about the Catfolk. Meow, 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 meow. The Catfolk don't really need to be explained because they're a very incredibly relatable ancestry. They're literally just cats. They're anthropomorphized cats. They're humanoids, but they also have similar traits to cats. Domesticated house cats, not like lions and tigers.
That's more beastkin.
Yeah.
Which maybe later on we'll go over as well.
Some of this stuff is very Catfolk specific. It's not focused on the, like, you get a claw attack. There's other stuff.
Yeah. Like always land on your feet kind of a thing. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Catfolk are an uncommon ancestry. You should probably talk to your GM about it before you pick it.
Yep.
It starts with 8 hit points. It's a medium-sized creature. Baseline speed is 25. Its boosts are dexterity, charisma, and a free one. But its flaw is in wisdom. Do you think cats are unwise creatures?
If we're looking at the separation between wisdom and intelligence, as intelligence being the number of things you know and wisdom being the ability to apply the things you know, cats are not intelligent, but very wise. And yes, this entire thing is written from the perspective of my cats. And all of the comparisons will be to my cats. Indigo doesn't own cats. Jake, whatever. You don't own cats.
Very much a cat owner statement.
Yeah.
Everything is around your cats.
Correct.
Cats are great. Well, at least mine are.
Mine are great. At any point in time, their caregiver could turn into a monster and murder
Catfolk have
them.
a couple languages. They have Amaran or Amaran or Babaran. It's the Catfolk native language.
Yes, please tell us in the comments how to phonetically say that word.
When someone gives me like, oh, it's with the on the U.
Umlaut, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. They also know common, and then of course, like every other, they get additional languages based off of their intelligence modifier. They get to choose from Draconic, Elven, Gnomish, Goblin, Halfling, Iruxi, which I always forget because it's lizard folk.
Yep.
Jotun, which
Jotun,
is Jotun.
It's the giant language. Yeah.
And then Sylvan.
Yep. Catfolk also are going to get low light vision, which is cool. You're also going to get land on your feet. When you fall, you're only going to take half the normal damage, and you're not going to land prone.
Monk build.
So if you fall at level 20 from a height that would reduce you to 0 HP,
which is a lot because falling is stupid in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
you could fall from, like, the moon.
Flight has to be sustained, right? So, like, if you use it and you're just like, I think it's better if I cast these spells. And you just cast the spells. You're going to be in weird situations because you're going to fall. But at the same time is, like, you have that action economy that you can play with because you're just like, well, I'm just going to have this fall.
Yeah, so it'll be fun. Whatever. So that's the base Catfolk. Let's talk about some heritages.
Okay.
There's going to be Clawed Catfolk. Can you guess what this is about? This is about your...
Bite attack.
Honestly, that was like the most optimal thing you could have said. That was good. I like that. Yeah, so you're going to get a claw unarmed attack that deals 1d6 slashing. It's brawling, agile, finesse, unarmed. This is exactly what you'd expect. This is if you want a better unarmed attack and you're not going monk.
The next heritage is going to be hunting cats. You're going to get the imprecise scent with a range of 30 feet. It doesn't give you directionality. Like you know that there's a creature within 30 feet.
So you know the creature's location. So it does give you direction.
Not the exact location.
You know its exact location.
Oh.
It's explained on page 465 of the core rulebook. That's why I wrote that second paragraph.
You mean the second bullet in which I just said I wasn't going to read?
Yes, and I said that's for me, and that is for me because I knew you were going to say this about imprecise scent, and I put that there because I needed to tell you that you do get its exact location.
See, because I thought because it was an imprecise, if you know their location, that's pretty damn precise. The reason why I thought it wasn't that, if I smell something, right, I'm going to know that something's within 30 feet of me. Imprecise to me doesn't mean I know that it is 15 feet away from me behind that tree.
You ain't no cat, though.
True. In addition, you get a +2 circumstance bonus to tracking a creature or object if you've smelt it before.
I think this is really cool. I like hunting a lot.
I think this is really good with a ranger or long-ranged character. An investigator, I think this would also stack really well with an investigator or ranger. I think that both of those kind of go well with the theming of this. Yeah. Jungle cat.
I always forget that you have all these noises that I just can't... Like your little, like, squeaky rat thing and, like, I don't know.
The next is going to be Jungle Catfolk. You ignore difficult terrain from undergrowth, and greater difficult terrain from undergrowth is only difficult terrain for you.
The most specific.
Hyper specific.
And again, when I say specific, I don't mean specific. When I say specific, I mean the
Pacific, the ocean.
You have to have a GM that cares about you in order for this to be valuable. Let's put it that way. You cannot control whether or not there is underbrush. You will never ever. I shouldn't say that. It's incredibly difficult for you to modify the kind of terrain that you're in, aside from just going somewhere else. And you can't just go somewhere else without potentially not being the place where you should be. Especially when it's something as like baseline as a heritage. I don't like something like this that is so incredibly cut and dry without like a little bit more on top of it, you know?
The only time I would ever choose this if the GM was like, okay, this campaign is going to be a long trudge through the forest.
And I'd be like, great. I'm a jungle folk catfolk.
Yeah. Never ever jungle choose this for a one-shot that you know nothing. You're like, cool, I've got this really cool heritage ability.
That's a way that we should rate things. Is this one-shot viable?
Sure.
No.
Absolutely not.
Not one-shot viable. That's really good. You're so smart.
If you're going to be playing a character one time, you want to use all of its abilities, or as many as you can.
You want to make sure that you can, because it's possible, but you can't make sure that you can. You get it.
Yeah.
Next is 9 lives, Catfolk. This is just going to allow you to become dying 1 instead of dying 2 when you're reduced to 0 HP by a critical hit. Normally, when you're reduced to 0 HP by a critical hit, you're dying 2, right? I can tell you from personal experience in multiple campaigns that this is really good. The only reason I didn't die in my last session of a campaign that I'm playing is because I was an Auric. And I had the ability... I had all of these abilities that prevented me from dying. And I also took, like... what was it called? It's so demoralizing to lose 1 layer of dying with literally 0 interaction, right? It's a really niche thing. Like, not niche. It's a really, like, rare... Not only does it have to be a crit, but it has to be the hit that kills you specifically. It can't be, like, the bleed damage off of it, I don't think, or, like, the persistent damage. But when it happens, boy, does it suck.
Well, and it's funny because we're talking about the last one, which was Jungle Catfolk, and we're like, oh, that's too specific. And we're like, this is also very, very specific.
Yes.
But the thing I would say that's different between the two is that while they're both specific, this one has a greater potential of like... Yeah.
This is like... super high risk, I might not use it, but also super high reward if I do.
Yeah.
The other one is super high risk if I don't use it, and it's kind of meh.
The next is Winter Catfolk, which you gain cold resistance equal to half your level, minimum 1, and you treat environmental cold effects as if they were 1 step lower than what they currently are. Very specific, cold environment specifically.
Yep.
But that's a lot of things that you get with it.
Yeah, resistance that scales with level,
and that's just cold resistance, period. Like, it's not like...
Oh, yeah, not cold resistance to environmental effects. It's just, like, even magical cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
See, like, that's why if you look at Jungle Cat and then you look at Winter Catfolk, you're like, okay, well, they both kind of have similar themes. Winter Catfolk, to me, is basically the snowy mountain cat version of Jungle Cats, right? Which, like, if it were, like, you gain resistance equal to half to heat because jungles are really hot and humid, and it's like, oh, you gain jungle resistance
or like poison resistance or sickness resistance. I could see both of those things, like you're drinking like water in the jungle and maybe there's like some bacteria or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot of aspect to that. I think this is really good. I like Winter Catfolk.
Yeah, Winter Catfolk's great,
especially if you know the environment in which you're going to be playing in. Hey, you're going to be we're going to the mountaintops of the frost giants. Cool. I'm a Winter Catfolk.
Yep, you found me on the way.
Boom, done.
Last but not least, let's talk about some feats. There's 3 kind of categories that really caught my eye. The first is like the luck tree. It's 5 feats that all have to do with basically getting to reroll saves. The first feat in this tree is called Cat's Luck, level 1, obviously. It's just going to allow you to reroll a failed reflex save once per day, and you have to use the new result.
I dig that.
Yeah.
I dig that. That's just like generally really good.
Yeah. Reflex saves, one of the most common kinds of saves, especially early in the game. Later in the game, I think you get more fortitude and will saves, but reflex early, super common. There's no downside. Oh, you're going to fail. I mean, okay. You could roll a crit fail when you normally failed or when you regularly failed.
Yeah.
But deal with it.
At 5th level, you're going to get expanded luck, which is going to allow you to now use that same luck roll for will and fort saves.
Oh, so it's going to take all of the flexibility that wasn't included at level 1 and just give it to you. I think some people might misinterpret this to say that you can use it like once per, but it's just once.
Yeah.
You can do it once per day still, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's not once per type of save.
At 5th level, you can now do it once of your choice of saves.
Yeah.
Versus once for luck, or once for reflex, once for will, once for force.
Once for luck.
Once for luck.
Level 9, shared luck. This is pretty cool. I think this is pretty unique. If you re-roll a failed reflex save with your cat's luck, any ally within 10 feet of you can also re-roll that save.
Does this take
I don't think it does.
I think it's just an option, right?
It's just an option that they're gonna do.
Paladin Catfolk.
I dig the flavor for sure.
Especially because if you're choosing a paladin that's like defensive for allies that's nearby.
Yeah.
And then at
level 17,
you can get reliable luck. You can now use your cat reflex, right? Your cat's luck, I should say, once per hour instead of once per day. Basically, it means once per combat. That's really what that means.
Yep.
Like,
that's how you can think about it as a player. One of the stronger things in the game is being able to just like undo a mistake, right? I will say they missed some opportunities because of the whole 9 lives thing. I don't think they added a really good like you can, re-roll a death save or something,
That would have been good.
Death save, yeah. I think it like maybe as an alternative for reliable luck, you can use all of your expenditures for a day to re-roll 1 death save.
That would have been good.
I really love those opportunity cost things, especially when, it's already really strong. Make me sacrifice that strength to get something else strong. Make me make a choice instead of just, okay, now I'm going to use it. Layering those choices on top of each other always feels so good.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
The second group of feats, it's only 2 feats that I pulled out, but it's mobility options because you're, a cat. I don't know if any,
Cats are fast.
Yeah, cats are fast and jump really high. First of all, level 5, you can get a 10-foot climb speed, which is like, you're not rolling for climbing at that point. You're just
climbing. Yeah.
Climbing.
Or at level 5, you can also take Springing Leap, take a 3 action activity to jump triple your vertical height.
Yeah, when you leap.
Yeah.
Which leap isn't
it's a specific distance.
Yeah, and it's not a trained action. It's
Correct.
just representing you jumping, right?
Yeah.
Anybody can jump.
Normally it's 3 feet.
Normally it's 3 feet vertically.
9 feet.
9 feet. You can also move 5 feet horizontally during that leap, so that's representing you jumping on top of something 3 feet tall. You can jump up 9 feet. There's some stuff in the game that modifies your leap distances. Yes. You can make it 5 feet vertically. And as Catfolk, that would make it 15 feet.
Oh, that balcony, that person's up there?
That would be so cool. I think there's a lot of great stuff here for anything. Mm-hmm. I don't think that this is like a huge, restriction on what should be picking this.
No.
I think there's a lot of survivability in it.
We've already talked about 3 different groups. Monks, right? We've talked about rangers, right? We talked about paladins, or champions, I'm sorry. We've even mentioned investigators.
Casters can benefit from a lot of this stuff, I think.
It's good for
to supplement their, survivability we were talking about in the last episode we recorded, but who knows what order they come out in.
Now, the last one, you have it labeled as cute flavor.
Yeah.
And I will say, if you are a Catfolk on our Pathfinder 2nd Edition Discord, and you are playing a Catfolk, this is mandatory. This last one is well groomed, and it gives you a +1 and upgrades successes to criticals against saves against diseases.
Yep.
So, if you're a Catfolk and you're on our server, mandatory right there.
And I just think it's cute flavor because the implication is that you spend a lot of time licking yourself and you can work that into your character, right? So you're, in the middle of a really deep, maybe dark conversation with someone. They're, threatening you, under the table, though. They're not making it overt because maybe there are other people around, right? Maybe you're at a dinner and they're like, well, I would hate to see what happens if that were the case. And then you're like...
See, I imagine the cat's leg was just up in the air, licking the inside of their knee. They're just I can't lift my...
The inside of their knee. Sure. That spicy demonetization dodge.
Let's find out from you. What have you used a Catfolk for in your games? And what classes would you pair, even if you haven't made a Catfolk? What classes would you pair with this?
And lastly, why are cats better than dogs? You're even hissing like a cat right now.
Yeah, because it's a negative sound, which are cats. Head down in the comments and let us know. While you're down there, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You can hit the bell icon. That's up to you. But, we all make mistakes. And you can reach me on social media at IndigoQT on Twitter.
And you can reach me on Twitter at QueueTimes, or you can contact both of us at _QueueTimes on Twitter, or you can go on our Discord, or you can go to our Patreon if you want to support us and help our channel grow big and strong. You can go to our merch, link in the thing.
Link in the bio.
I was actively trying to not do that. I was really
and I did
actively trying to not do that. Because, every single YouTuber that says that unironically is bad.
Look, just
end of story.
Look, more than likely by the end of the year, we'll also be on OnlyFans. So,
that was 2 references in 1 reference. Wow.
2!
That's bang for your buck.
All right, everyone.
Bang for your buck.
Bye.
You get it?
I do.